Gold miners are about to rally. As the charts say, buy this dip. I'm your host, Steven Van Metre, and thanks for joining me for part 2 of the Sunday Chart Show, where we've got metals, miners, dollars, bonds, and even the energy sector. Let's kick this off with gold, because we're making the case now why gold has still got a chance to rally and why the miners are likely to lead the metals higher. Let's start out here with gold. And what are we looking at? The momentum, the relative strength indicator, or RSI. And what do we see? Momentum got to oversold levels here back in mid-May, and momentum has been slowly building and price has been following along. And that's what you want to see, is momentum and price following it. And what do we see? RSI now over 53. It's over that critical number of 40. Remember, 40 and higher is positive momentum. 40 below 40, momentum slowing. So we see it got over 40. It's been moving along, looking like momentum is about to break higher. And how about the MACD, your moving average convergence divergence strategy? What we're looking for is a crossover of the MACD, the black line, through the signal line. We have a positive cross. Now, notably, this isn't a very strong, pull through the cross. You don't see a big surge higher on the MACD line, but it doesn't need that. It can actually have a nice little rally here, being just tightly wound like this. So momentum to the upside. And of course, we've got Momentum Timer Pro calling for 13 consecutive buy signals. Why? Momentum's building now and showing signs of a bottom. And what does Momentum Timer Pro do? Well, it looks at 3 signals. It looks at the RSI. If it's over 40, you've got a buy signal. If it's a MACD and a positive cross, you've got a buy signal or an internal signal. If it's flagging to buy, all you need 2 of 3 and you get a daily buy signal here. 1 month now moved up to the mid size. If you're looking for a bigger bottom, wait till the 3-month signal here flips over to a minimum, and that is usually a very strong signal when paired with a rising 1-month signal. Notably, the long-term signal here, the 6-month signal, also moving higher as we see gold start to form a larger bottom here, and everyone's really bullish on gold, and that really helps too as people come and buy dips. Let's look at the moving averages. We see the 21-day moving higher, momentum to the upside on that. We got the 100-day still trending higher. Only the 50-day now is in a downtrend. It's back above its 21-day moving average. We see 6, 9, and 12-month momentum, all positive. Let's take a look at the charts for gold. We've got the volume profile turned on here. Now, you can do this with your own charting software, and it'll tell you where most of the shares have been traded over a given period of time. And here we see this red bar. This is where the most shares over the last 2 years have been traded. Nice support there at 1800. And what happened? Price came collapsing down like there's a liquidity crisis going on, but buyers stepped in. And look at the 6-month volume profile here. Where is it at? Same level. And that's what's giving me a lot of conviction here. I've said there's likely to be a counter rally in gold. Every time you see one of these big softs, it comes surging back higher as buyers come in, and that would be your opportunity. I still think you could see this thing get up into the low 1900s pretty easily. There's still some upside here, maybe even an overshoot up into the high 1900s. Could happen. We've seen that happen before. I'd set the target right around this 1960. Definitely some upside there. But how about perhaps the metals? Maybe there's a bigger opportunity as we look at the gold miners here. And what we see, same story on the RSI. Went from oversold conditions. It started moving, momentum started moving higher, struggled around the 40, but kept going, kept staying up there, pushing price a little bit higher. There's positive signals here going on. Same thing with the MACD. Got a nice positive cross. It's just kind of been meandering, and momentum just slowly building, as it builds up steam, looking to head higher. And we've seen that, it doesn't need a ton of momentum to get price to shoot higher on the MACD. So we could just be building up steam, looking to move higher here. Momentum Timer Pro is now starting to see you notice the 1-month signal is now back to a minimum. It's still trying to say there's uptrend here. You're seeing it's oscillating now back between buys and sells a little bit. That is usually indicating a bottom is starting to form before it breaks out. So a lot of good signs there. Bigger picture, 21-day moving average heading lower or higher. Geez, green. It's obvious, headed higher. There's a 50-day that's still headed lower. No big deal there because the 21-day is going to lead to 50. The 100-day is lagging both of those. No big deal. Above the 21-day moving average, that's good signs. Let's take a look at GDX. Because what do we see? This big move down in price was bought. You notice the volume came in here. And then what happened? Price came down. What notably? Volume popped up. People bought into this dip. And you'll notice, well, look at where price is sitting. Every time GDX gets around 30, what happens? People buy. Get down to 30, buy, 30, buy, 30, big move higher. And notice the more times people buy at 30, then you get that massive lift off. So here it comes down, buyers at 30, comes down again. Maybe it rolls over and comes down again. It doesn't matter. The more times people are buying right around here at 30, the bigger the chances this thing shoots higher. So you see the 21-day now coming down, trying to bomb, 50-day headed lower. Has that mattered in the past? No, not at all. 50-day can be trending down. This thing can just shoot right through it. So get ready. There is a lot of potential in GDX coming. Let's take a look at silver. Perhaps maybe silver was going to have a little trouble. Looked like it was going to rally, but it's starting to run out of steam. But notice here, RSI saying the momentum still positive, still moving higher, sitting at 45. That's good. Price is going with it. That's good. How about the MACD? Momentum still pushing there. That's a good sign. How about momentum time bro? Sitting on 7 consecutive days of buy signals. Notice on the 1 month, it's sitting at mid. What is the golden signal you want to see if you're a longer term trader or more just want a stronger conviction on the signals? You don't like the noise of these daily signals? Wait till the 3-month signal pops to a minimum when you see a rising 1-month signal, which we're seeing there. How about the bigger picture? 21-day moving average headed up. Not a lot of much to see here. 1-month momentum has flipped positive, but that's not really the story on silver. The question on silver is, can it get out of this sell zone? Price came down and got in here, and I thought, okay, you heard me before. I thought for sure probabilities this thing is going higher here, and look what happened. Sellers came in. These are people that previously bought that are losing faith. They're selling. Buyers, keep stepping back in. It's really now the buyers need to hang on here and get this thing going. I think if the buyers can hold out here, push through $22, 22, and drive it up, they've got every chance of getting up here to 24. But watch this. If the buyers can't hold on to this, tighten your stops up. This could go. Otherwise, if the buyers are holding this early next week, I think you got to run easily to 24, maybe up here 25 or a little bit higher. So keep an eye out on that. Bigger conviction though. I'm definitely more convicted on short-term play on the gold miners. How about the dollar? Some of you have been looking for a re-entry point. Well, now you've got it. We went from overbought condition, momentum slow. That scares people, gets them out. I said, don't be scared. Who cares? Prices come down. We're in a broad uptrend. Sure enough, RSI now turning back higher, and price is going with it. How about the MACD? Remember we talked about last week, this could be start to bottom out. You got positive cross, momentum timer pro on, this would be on the Friday report that you received as a buy signal. Had you bought this, now notably, we know this is an uptrend because the 3 and 6 month signals mid and mid. So we know this is broadly in an uptrend. Just in a short term, there was a pullback causing the 1 month to go to none. Now wait, this will start to turn around at some point, but that would be your signal. If you're looking to add to position, you're in an uptrend and you get a buy signal. Well, it's like, what more do you want? There it is. How about the bigger picture here? Again, 21-day moving average moving down, but everything else pretty much showing you're in an uptrend. Again, this is exactly what you want to see if you're looking to add positions or take a shot at this because you missed it out. Let's take a look at UUP. Had you bought this uptrend on Friday, you would have purchased up here, had a nice little move here. And again, you're just buying an uptrend, looking for price to go higher, pull back to the 50-day. I mean, this is all things you want to see in an uptrend. How about the volume profile? Let's look at the 10-day. You can see 10-day people are buying this. As we discussed last week, this was likely to happen. Price going higher. There was your signal. And the report, believe it or not, still free. There'll be a link in the corner and the description below. Some point this is going paid. How about DXY sitting at 104? Didn't get as deep a pullback as I was thinking. Boy, but 105 here. You look at this. If it breaks out here, now your next move is up to 107. Again, all momentum time pro it's given you was another look at an entry point if you were already in the trade or if you were playing chase. Now you got a signal, and then after that you're looking at a move up to 118 on UUP. In the short term, my chart doesn't go back that far. Maybe the ETF wasn't quite around then, but lots of upside potential left there. How about we head over to the bond market, which keeps getting battered? Maybe finally do we see a double bottom here in price building potentially? Momentum still moving higher, just came just below 40. Sounds like the S&P and NASDAQ story, right? Price gets knocked down, but momentum is not really slowed down that much. I mean, we're just talking just a slight pullback on the gas pedal here. Doesn't really validate this move down in price price at all. Same with the MACD. Notice this isn't a big move cross down through here, driving price lower. Just a shallow kind of cross. And of course, Momentum Timer Pro is starting to oscillate between some buy signals and sell signals. Happens all the time when this thing's trying to find a bottom. Notably, the 1 month is sitting at a mid. You're going to wait if you're looking for a much stronger signal for the 3 month to go to a minimum. That's your golden signal. Everything here is red. No real surprise yet. They still got a little bit of time for that to come around. But look at this on the price chart. You see bottom, slightly higher, low, potentially bottom forming here. This move down will zoom in for you. It just was not validated by momentum. Of course, we need to see buyers step in here and take this higher, and then you'll want to see that 21-day moving average flatten out. Then you'll see that 3 month signal at some point go to a minimum. There's your buy signal. But if you're looking at what's going on, is everybody selling this at lower levels, which is massively impressive considering people are continuing to sell this at lower levels, believing that interest rates are going a lot higher. Well, at some point, perhaps with QT and another 50 basis point rate hike, we should see a reversal here. But hang tight on that. No point in jumping into an entry point unless you're a trader. But one thing that could help the bond market is the energy sector. Price coming down a little bit as momentum slows. That is a good sign that a peak may be starting to form. We see the MACD early signs of a cross after this rally that we kind of pointed out. People jumped out because the MACD crossed and said, no, momentum's still to the upside here. But maybe now this thing might be at the end because we've seen this whole long-term signal here is green. What is the bigger picture? Is when XLE gets up here, I kind of said 90, it got a little above there, no big deal. But notably, when this thing reverses, it reverses hard, and that is usually a signal that bond prices are going to start rallying. So watch for a reversal here. If you've been in it, maybe it's time to cash in your profits and look the other direction. If you like to take the short side, maybe there's some opportunities to start building some small positions there. Could this go higher? It sure can. But the surprising move for the market would be to go lower because the consensus is energy sector, there's only one way it can go. And when markets believe price can only go one way, then it starts to head the opposite. Hey, with that, I'm Steve Van Metre. Hey, thanks for being fans. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back on Monday for the regular show. Bye now.